Hi folks, welcome back to part 2 of painting on Laura's Mustang wheels. And welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. Now I won't waste a lot of time talking about this. Y'all have watched part 1, hopefully. If you hadn't, go back and watch it because we're picking right back up where we left off on part 1. So thanks for coming back, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, now that will make it look better and make it paint hold a little better. Well, it looks like my paint shaking worked. There's the silver, good metallic, mixed up, looking good. Now we're going to mix it in this cup. Now, wish my eyes were a little bit better so I could see, but this cup has, most of your mixing cups are done this way. They have all the different ways of mixing. Like this one is 2-1-1. That'll be 2 parts paint, 1 part hardener, and 1 part reducer. Well, what I'm going to use this paint is 4-1-1. So I use this column. I don't need a ton of paint. I don't think I need all this. I'm just going to start off, I'm going to mix it down here just a little bit because it's not going to take a whole lot to cover those wheels. So let me just start with that. Let me look and make sure. Okay, there's 4. I'm going to want to go to the 1 all the way down at the bottom. Let me see if it's hard to see it. All right, there we go, 1. If that's isn't enough, you just mix up a little more. Always keep your lids on good and tight because that's what keeps it. Because I bought this paint in like 2019. All right, now let's see. I think we got some. I'm a little short on hard, but I got a little bit here. I got some more different kind if I have to. Gosh, it's been so long, this thing's about done, top done about sealed to it. All right, so now we want to go to the next one. Let's see, we're right here. I want to go to a little above the next one. All right. Then we're going to put just a little bit of reducer in it. All right. All right, that ought to do. All right, so now we have our little mix for our paint, and that is single stage metallic silver. Now you got to watch whatever you're doing. This particular paint, this particular brand, mixes 4 parts paint, 1 part hardener with 1 part reducer. But I have gotten some paint that mixes 8 parts paint to, I want to say 2 parts hardener and 1 part reducer. But, you know, you do this for a while, you kind of get a feel for it. Sometimes you don't need a lot of reducer. Sometimes you might want a little more, depending on what you're doing. You get into a lot of that with more like your primers and stuff. If it's a little too thick, you can add a little more reducer, but your reducer will thin it out, but it makes it dry quicker. It evaporates quicker. So let's let this set up. I'm gonna mix it and then let it set up a little bit. Look over everything one more time, get my gun set up, and get my goggles on so I don't mess up my funky glasses here. Whoop, finger's already sticking to it. And we'll get the spray. All right, now that we're all mixed up, and I look like some kind of meth producer, I don't know what they call it. But remember, safety first. All right, well that's one coat on. I went ahead and mixed up a little bit more paint because one reason I'm using my big gun instead of the little gun, which I probably should use, but I haven't used it much. I haven't used one much. I've got one that's brand new and I haven't even broke it out and done all that, but I just fall back to my good old faithful gun, and it shoots a little bit more. You know, I've got it, I didn't turn it down much. I turned it down a little bit, but it's just a bigger gun. The bigger gun shoots out more, which will make the metallic look nice. But you may notice it gets a little more overspray. I like to shoot at a higher pressure. I use a conventional gun, it is a gravity feed, but I don't use the HVLP. I might try another later. But years ago, I would try the HVLP guns, high volume, low pressure, and I would always get orange peel. But I watched Bad Chad some, that's what he uses, the cheap HVLP guns, but he cranks the pressure way up. And he turns it where the volume is way out. So he's basically making a conventional gun out of it, and then he rolls on with it. I'm going to try that. But I've always liked the conventional gun better because it seems like for my style and my way, I can control it a little better. It throws out I can put a high pressure on to, and it throws out the product. But anyway, this will make the metallic look pretty good on it, but especially a silver metallic, it takes quite many coats to cover. So I'll probably end up putting 3 or 4 coats on here. Like I said, I've got one now. You may notice on the charger, I backed it out. I didn't want to take it too far, just in case it don't want to crank. I can push it back in. I did throw the old blanket over the windshield. I don't really care if it gets a little overspray here and there. I can clean that up with sanding or some Brillo or something like that, but I'm just saying I'll get it on the windshield. But there we go, we're working on it. I'm done with the paint. Now I still have to clean the gun, get everything, finished up, ready. Get the charger back in here, move some of the stuff around, move the wheels. But before then, I'm gonna get you in here and show you what they look like. Now they're not perfect. They got a little shine. They still got little scuffs, little indentions like right here. Could I have gotten all that out? Well, sure. I would have, sanded a little more and primed and sanded and primed. But we're not after perfection here. We're not taking this car to SEMA. She just wants the wheels looking pretty good. And new tires. I expect I wouldn't be surprised. She'd probably say, oh, the wheels are good enough. Just put new tires on, let me go. But the body man in me wants to at least clean them up and throw some paint on them. So they're going to look a whole lot better on that old car. And she'll say, I'll say, I need to sand it and paint it. And she said, Dad, we're trying to get it going where we can drive it right now. She said, painting's gonna be the last thing. I said, well, yeah, but I said, ain't be no last thing. This is an old car. You're always working on it. You're always doing something to it. But I know what she means, and she's right. We need to get some of this little piddly crap done. And, get it all going and driving and running, and then we worry about sanding it and shoot some new paint on it, which ain't gonna be cheap. Hopefully, if things go right, our economy will improve. Maybe things will be more affordable again. Let's make paint affordable again. Well, we'll see. All right, now let's see if this thing will fire up again and pull back in. All right, I'm glad she did. We're gonna get back on this pretty soon too. She fired up right again. Good old car. I need to drive it some. Like I say, I bet I hadn't put, counting the trip up the road we took a couple videos back, I bet I hadn't put 10 miles on this car since I put this engine in it. Well, shoot, for 25 years, the engine only had about 2,000 miles on it. It sat most of the time. I mean, it ain't even hardly broke in. Let me go ahead and unhook my battery. I know I like to do that. Plus, this one I need to put back on charge. This is my little Econo Power. This is the one I got in the white car when I bought the white car. And that was, I think that was in 2019, so I'm just shocked. One of the best purchases I guess I bought was that little 2-amp trickle charger. I use that thing constantly. And maintaining the battery will make it last longer. So, all right, folks. I tell you what, I'll tell y'all the secret. If y'all don't tell anybody, okay? I'm going to show you my fancy, high-tech drying booth for painted wheels. Okay? Now, don't let the secret get out now. Okay? I just set them on the hood of this old truck. I miss my old Chevy truck, and well, I see it all the time. But I mean, I miss driving it. I got to get that old engine out, get the 350 in, do all that. I expect that's going to be that's probably going to be a little more of a wintertime deal again. But we get a little stuff done, and we'll get back to it. Well, that's going to wrap up part 2 of the Painting on Laura's Mustang wheels. I appreciate you watching, coming back to see me, see what's going on. Please continue to do so. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little button. I really do appreciate you all. And until next time, I'll see you at the shop.